Our cities glow at night. That light keeps us safe. It lets us work and play after the sun goes down. But where does that light come from? It comes from electricity, and that electricity costs a lot. It also puts a heavy strain on our power grids. Think about it. Streetlights building lights, signs the International Energy Agency, tells us that lighting uses about 8% of all the electricity in the world. That is a huge number. It shows how much power we need just to push back the darkness. This demand is only growing, creating a real challenge for our aging infrastructure. The problem gets bigger when you look at the grid itself. Our electric grids are under more stress than ever before. We are building massive data centers. We are using more power in our homes. All of this adds up to a system that is often pushed to its limit. This strain makes power outages more common. When the power goes out, the lights go out. Suddenly, our streets are dark and less safe. This isn't just an inconvenience. It can be a serious public safety issue. We need a solution that doesn't depend so heavily on a fragile grid. Then, there is the weather. Our climate is changing. We see more extreme weather events every year. Fierce storms with high winds can knock down power lines and poles. Intense heat waves can cause equipment to fail and force utilities to cut power. When these events happen, millions of people can be left in the dark for hours or even days. Metal poles, the copper wires, the glass lamps. This fragility forces us to ask a critical question. Is there a better, more resilient way to light our cities? So, we have a clear challenge. Our demand for light is high. Our grids are strained. Our infrastructure is vulnerable to weather. And all of this comes with a big carbon footprint from power generation. It's a complex problem that needs a new way of thinking. What if we could have light without relying so much on those copper wires and big power plants? What if our cities could create their own light quietly and sustainably? The answer might be growing right in front of us, in the form of living, breathing trees that shine in the night. It sounds like science fiction, but the science is here today. So, how do we solve this big problem? The answer is a powerful new idea. It is called the biosoftware revolution. This is a total shift in how we think about technology in our cities. Instead of building with just steel and concrete, we start working with living systems. The core idea is simple but profound. We can use biology as a form of software. We can program living things like plants and trees to perform useful tasks for us. In this case, the task is lighting our streets. Imagine walking down a sidewalk at night, guided not by electric lamps, but by the soft, gentle glow of the trees lining the street. This brings us to the concept of living streetlights. These are not just trees with lights strung on them. These are trees that are genetically engineered to produce their own light. They glow from within. They use their own natural energy to create a gentle, sustained luminescence. This turns a simple tree into a piece of living infrastructure. It becomes a self-powered, low-maintenance, long-lasting source of light. This is the heart of the biosoftware idea. We are not just planting a tree. We are deploying a biological machine that serves a vital urban function, all while staying alive and growing. The benefits of this approach are huge. First, there is the carbon impact. Traditional streetlights consume electricity, which often comes from burning fossil fuels. This releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Bioluminescent trees do the opposite. They are plants. Through photosynthesis, they pull carbon dioxide out of the air and store it in their wood and leaves. So instead of adding to the climate problem, they actively help solve it. They are carbon negative. Every glowing tree is a small step toward a cleaner planet. This completely flips the script on how we light our world. Beyond carbon, living streetlights build resilience. When a storm hits and the power grid goes down, conventional lights fail, the city goes dark, but living lights are not connected to the grid. Their power source is the sun and their own internal chemistry. They keep glowing, no matter what happens to the electrical system. This makes our cities safer and more robust in the face of emergencies. Plus, these trees bring other benefits. They provide shade, which cools our cities, they improve air quality, and they connect us back to nature, which is good for our mental and physical health. It's a solution with many layers of positive impact. How can a tree possibly make its own light? It sounds like magic, but the science is real. The secret comes from the world of fungi. Certain types of mushrooms glow in the dark. Scientists studied them for years to understand why. They finally cracked the code. The glow comes from a chemical process powered by 4 special enzymes. These enzymes work in a perfect loop to make light from a common plant molecule. That molecule is caffeic acid. It's a basic building block plants use for many things like strengthening cell walls. It's abundant and natural. Scientists insert fungal genes into trees to make the 4 enzymes from caffeic acid. Think of a tiny biological factory inside plant cells. The enzymes act like an assembly line. Each step turns caffeic acid into a light-emitting molecule. First, histidine synthase converts caffeic acid into a new molecule. Second, H3H modifies it into the glowing substrate. This substrate is the fuel. Third, luciferase, nicknamed Luz, reacts the substrate with oxygen to release a photon. That's the glow we see. Fourth, CPH recycles the used substrate back into caffeic acid. That recycling makes a closed loop. The plant keeps remaking its fuel so it doesn't run out. Caffeic acid is used, turned into light, and regenerated to begin again. The plant can glow continuously, day and night, throughout its life. It's a self-sustaining system. Borrowing this trick, scientists can make plants into living lanterns, powered by their natural metabolism. A beautiful example of learning from nature for a better future. So we know the 4 enzymes that make the light. But how do we get the instructions for making them inside a tree? This is where a revolutionary tool called CRISPR comes in. CRISPR is a pair of molecular scissors combined with a GPS. It allows scientists to make very precise changes to an organism's DNA. DNA is the instruction manual for all living things. With CRISPR, scientists can open that manual to a specific page and carefully write in a new sentence or 2. They are adding sentences that tell the tree how to make the 4 fungal enzymes for bioluminescence. The process is incredibly precise. Scientists identify a safe spot in the tree's genome, a location where adding new information will not disrupt essential functions. They want the tree to stay healthy, to grow strong, and to function just like a normal tree in every other way. Using CRISPR, they insert the DNA sequences, the genes, for the 4 enzymes. Once in place, the tree's cellular machinery reads the new instructions and starts producing the enzymes. The bio-software is installed, and the tree gains the ability to glow. A major question: does this process harm the tree? Does making light use up too much of its energy? This is a critical point. If glowing stunted growth or made the tree sick, it wouldn't be practical. But detailed research and metabolic modeling, including work from MIT, show the energy cost is incredibly low. Creating light uses only a tiny fraction of the energy from photosynthesis. The number is around 0.3%. So small it has no noticeable negative effect on health, growth, or development. Imagine a person's daily calorie intake. The energy a tree uses to glow is like a person taking 1 or 2 extra steps in a day. It is negligible. The tree still has more than enough energy for normal activities, growing taller, putting out leaves, storing carbon, defending itself against pests. This is why the approach is viable. When we consider a new technology, we have to compare it to what we already have. So let's put living streetlights side by side with traditional electric lamps, high-pressure sodium, modern LEDs. The first and most obvious difference is energy. HPS and LED lamps run on electricity from the grid. This costs money and can create carbon emissions. Living trees, on the other hand, are self-powered. They use sunlight, a free renewable resource. They create their own energy through photosynthesis. That means no electricity bills and no direct reliance on power plants. Next, lifespan and maintenance. An LED street lamp fixture lasts about a decade, maybe two. An HPS bulb lasts even less. When they fail, crews and bucket trucks replace them. That costs money and labor. A tree is a long-term asset. It can live 50 years, 100 years, even 150 years. Its light source doesn't burn out. As the tree grows and gains leaves, its light output can increase. It's an appreciating asset. Environmental impact. Manufacturing, installing, and powering electric lamps create a big carbon footprint. Steel poles, copper wires, electronic components all require energy and resources. Over their lifetime, lamps consume more energy. A tree does the opposite. From planting, it sequesters carbon, pulls CO2 from the air. A mature tree becomes a carbon sink. While a lamp adds to our carbon debt, a tree helps pay it down. They also fail differently. Storms can knock out whole circuits of lights. A tree is resilient and not grid-dependent. Finally, light quality and health. Many modern LEDs emit bright blue-rich white light. Blue light at night can suppress melatonin production. Melatonin helps us sleep. That disrupts circadian rhythms. Fungal bioluminescence is different. It glows a soft, gentle green. That wavelength has far less impact on human melatonin. It's less likely to interfere with sleep and gentler on nocturnal wildlife, reducing light pollution. In every key category, living light offers a compelling advantage. The most exciting part of this idea is that the benefits go far beyond just providing light, A bioluminescent tree is not just a lamp replacement. It is a piece of living infrastructure that creates a cascade of positive effects for the city and its residents. One of the biggest is carbon sequestration. Every tree is a natural carbon capture machine. A healthy, mature street tree can absorb between 10 and 40 kilograms of CO2 from the atmosphere every single year. If a city plants thousands of these living lights, it adds up to a significant reduction in its overall carbon footprint. Another major benefit is urban cooling. Cities are often much hotter than surrounding rural areas. The urban heat island effect. This is because asphalt and concrete absorb and radiate heat. A large tree canopy provides shade, which keeps surfaces cool. Trees release water vapor through transpiration, a natural air conditioner. A neighborhood with a healthy tree canopy can be several degrees cooler than one without. This reduces the need for energy-intensive air conditioning, saving electricity and money. Then there is the impact on human and wildlife health. The soft green light from these trees is much better for our natural sleep cycles than the harsh blue light of many LEDs. Studies show people in areas with less nighttime light pollution report better sleep and well-being. That creates healthier, less stressed communities. The gentle light is also better for wildlife. Bright artificial lights can disorient nocturnal animals, disrupting their hunting, mating, migration patterns. A city lit by bioluminescence would be a much more hospitable place for the urban ecosystem. Finally, there are the economic benefits, which are often hidden but very real. A healthy urban forest provides valuable ecosystem services. Trees help manage stormwater by absorbing rainfall, which reduces the strain on city drainage systems. They increase property values. Homes on tree-lined streets are often more desirable. An economic analysis shows a high net present value and return on investment for well-managed urban trees. When you add the value of free lighting services to all these other benefits, the financial case for living streetlights becomes incredibly strong. It's an investment that pays dividends in many different ways. This vision of glowing cities is not just a fantasy. The groundwork is already being laid by pioneering companies, researchers, and cities around the world. These early examples show that the components of this future are already here. For instance, the French company Glowy is a leader in harnessing bioluminescence. While they have focused on using light-producing bacteria, microbes, in temporary installations, commercial signage, their work proves the public's fascination and the practical application of living light. They have successfully lit up public spaces, demonstrating that biological light can work outside the lab. In the world of urban design, we can look to places like Singapore. Their famous Gardens by the Bay features towering man-made super trees. While these structures use conventional LEDs for their dazzling light shows, they embody the principle of integrating large, vertical living structures into the urban fabric. They show us how to think big when it comes to green infrastructure. The next logical step is to merge Glowy's biological lighting concept with the scale of Singapore's super trees, creating structures that are both living and self-luminous. The ambition and the public acceptance are already there. For any urban tree to thrive, especially a high-tech one, it needs the right foundation. This is where technologies like Silva cells come in. A Silva cell is a modular underground framework that holds large volumes of healthy soil while supporting the pavement above. This gives tree roots the space and nutrients they need to grow to their full, mature size, even in a dense urban environment. A tree in a tiny pit will never become a powerful streetlight. A tree planted with a system like Silva cells can. These systems are the critical hardware that supports the biosoftware of the tree itself. Finally, the scientific and regulatory progress is moving fast. Researchers at MIT and other top institutions have already created small glowing plants in the lab, proving the core concept. On the policy side, countries are updating their rules. The UK's new regulations for precision-bred organisms, for example, create a clearer and potentially faster path for approving genetically edited plants that are deemed safe. This kind of modern regulatory framework is essential for moving from lab experiments to real-world pilot projects. All these pieces, the science, the design, the engineering, and the policy, are coming together to make this future possible. Of course, with any powerful new technology, there are important risks to consider and manage. We have to proceed with caution and care. One of the biggest concerns with any genetically engineered organism is the potential for its new traits to spread into the wild. This is known as genetic drift. We would not want the genes for bioluminescence to transfer from our city trees to plants in a nearby forest. Fortunately, there are clear solutions to this. The most straightforward is to use trees that are sterile, meaning they cannot reproduce and spread their pollen, seeds. This contains the technology within its intended urban environment. Beyond genetic containment, we need strong environmental oversight. Before any city rolls out living streetlights on a large scale, it must conduct thorough environmental impact assessments. These studies would look at the potential effects on the entire local ecosystem. How might the light affect soil microbes? What is the impact on local insect populations? Moths, fireflies. How does it interact with nearby native plants? These questions must be answered by independent scientists to ensure that we are not solving one problem by creating another. Careful science-based regulation is not a barrier. It is the pathway to responsible innovation. Our laws and city codes will also need to adapt. Urban planning will need to evolve. Cities might create new biological zoning rules that specify where living lights can be planted and where they cannot. These rules would consider factors like proximity to sensitive natural habitats. There would also need to be new standards for the care and maintenance of these biological assets. You don't fix a tree with a screwdriver. It requires skilled arborists who understand the unique needs of these engineered plants. This creates a new field of green jobs and requires a new way of thinking about municipal services. The goal is not to stop progress, but to guide it ethically. We need to build public trust through transparency. This means having open discussions about the risks, the safeguards, It means involving communities in the decisions about where and how to deploy this technology. The UK's Genetic Technology Precision Breeding Act is a good model. It sets up a framework for evaluating new traits based on scientific evidence of risk. By adopting similar, clear, consistent, science-driven rules, we can unlock the incredible benefits of living infrastructure while carefully managing any potential downsides. So, where do we go from here? The science is proven. The potential benefits are immense. The risks are manageable. Move from the laboratory to the real world. Carefully designed pilot projects. A few forward-thinking cities need to step up. Test at neighborhood scale, public parks, university campuses, low-traffic residential streets, gather real-world data, answer remaining practical questions, treat pilots as living laboratories. We would measure everything. How much light does a grove of 10-year-old trees produce? How does it compare to LEDs? Survey residents on safety and well-being, monitor local wildlife responses, keep conventional backup lighting in place at first, used only if needed. Learn, adapt, and perfect before wider rollout. Rambouillet, France, an ideal candidate. This requires a cultural shift. We've managed cities like machines, full of hardware, moved to living infrastructure, caring for living systems, a deeper connection to the urban environment, value the long-term health of our urban forest, as much as we value the reliability of our power grid, a symbiotic relationship with nature in our cities, restore wonder and calm to urban life. Living streetlights are more than a clever idea. They solve grid strain. They cut carbon emissions. They improve public health. Cities become more resilient, more sustainable, more beautiful. Path forward, launch pilot projects, establish clear, ethical regulations, foster a long-term vision for living systems in our urban fabric. If we take these steps, we can begin to grow our own light, build cities that don't just consume energy, but create a brilliant, shining future all on their own.